What's the first line again?
I found out long ago.
I found out long ago.
Whoa.
Long way down Hardy Road.
Whoa.
Hardy Road. Hardy Road. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick.
Whoa.
We'll take a ride down East Coast Street.
Whoa.
Hardy Road. Hardy Road. Hardy Road.
Woo! Yay, Holiday Road. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Terry already. Here we are. Here we are. Oh. Happy birthday, Doug, wherever you are. And, you know, we're all here to just remember our friend. And thank you, everyone, for being here. I really don't feel worthy. I don't feel ready. I don't feel qualified to do this, but here we are. Here we are. We're all friends here. And yeah, just miss my friend. And I spent last night watching his videos. Hi, Philosophy. Hi. And Philosophy sent me a nice video to play that she made. And I know so many of you miss Doug. And just watching some of the things that he had presented to us in only the in the only way that we knew Doug as, he was so funny. He was rough around the edges. He was honest. He was insightful. He was very, very deep. And he really felt things. And he taught me so much in such a short period of time. He really did. So I want to show you a few things. I hopefully will have some guests popping in. I sent a bunch of links out, and hopefully we'll be able to do that. But I would like to. I think I'm going to start with playing Philosophy's video because it was amazing, and I have it downloaded in here. So hopefully this will work, and I think it'll make me maybe disappear, and we'll play it. So here it is.
What is Doug's star sign, I wonder? I was born in July, so that's July 1973. That would make me Cancer, right? Cancer, get it? So funny, Doug.
Now, Doug was an extremely intelligent man, and he could really see beyond the words. He really loved interacting with his audience, and I always felt that it was a two-way flow, to use the terminology. I always really felt like he could see through my words, though, and he could see beyond the words to the ideas and the concepts that are behind them. And he also spoke in that way. He spoke with such measured thoughtfulness, and that showed me that he knew way more than what he said, and that he was actually like 10 steps ahead of the words that were coming out of his mouth. I remember one of his, Q&As, and he read out one of my questions that I sent him on. It was something to do with like NLP, and he read it out, and then he was like, he stopped, and then he goes, "Now, I know you already know all about this, but you asked these great questions on behalf of the rest of us." And I was just like, dude, so fucking sharp.
Okay, Philosophy. Doug, I've started to understand the way the language is used in the hypnosis, programming, and psychosis, but can you explain more about the tone of voice, how it's used? Good question. I mean, that's pretty simple philosophy, and I know you already know this stuff, but you always ask these good questions for the rest of us. It has if you listen to Hubbard's voice, I found it very soothing and I liked listening to it. When I was in the cult, now I can barely stand it. But have you noticed how Keith Raniere, how Hubbard, how certain salesmen, this is why we have advertisers that talk in a certain voice. I don't know how exactly it works, philosophy, but if you have a rhythmic, soothing voice, somehow that probably matches up with the brain waves, the brain chemistry to help induce and lull the trance. So there's definitely something about, well, we know with NLP, it's the way they structure the sentences. And me and Marilyn are going to do a video all on that. And I'm sure you know about that. But we're not only the way you structure the sentence, right, to induce the hypnosis with NLP, but the accents that you use on when you say the sentence, how you deliver it, and then the very hypnotic voice that some people have. And if you listen to Hubbard, it may be weird. It's definitely creepy to listen to. But anyways, sorry for that long ramble. I think the Xenu is having an effect. I'll try to keep it shorter. Philosophy, how are you? Doug, your Elron voice is really funny. What other accents can you do? I can do a lot, Philosophy, but don't make me do them on the spot, man. I'll take your notes and I'll bust them out in future streams. We won't just go with the Elron.
Happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Philosophy. That was beautiful. And it really did encapsulate Doug with his humor. Wow. Well, as I was watching some of his videos last night, I was just very touched and very honored that he mentioned me so many times. And there were so many things that we were going to do together. Yeah, we never got to do that NLP stream, but I'll work on it, Doug. I'll work on it. So, anyways, I want to go through some of your comments. I'm trying not to be a mess today. I want this to be happy because we're remembering somebody that was so important to this space, was so important to this movement. And just to get on my soapbox for 1 minute, and I'm sad that I have to say this. I hope I don't, really have to say this, and I'm pretty sure that the mods probably have already articulated this in the chat, but today is about Doug. And there's going to be zero tolerance for any BS in my chat today. It's about Doug. And this isn't reality TV. This isn't a joke. Put your popcorn away. Bring out your Zoom, Marlene, whatever that is. And let's all come together and not be petty today. And this isn't a show. This is serious, even though we do joke around a lot. I'm not here to waste time, and I'm not here to just make a spectacle. So anybody wants to start any bullshit, you're out. So, okay. That said, housekeeping's done with. Oh boy. So let me go through some of your comments because I have a few more clips to show, and hopefully we'll have some guests popping in. We'll see what happens. It's Saturday morning, and it's pretty early on the West Coast. So we'll see what happens. I have Nancy Alley in the back. Thank you so much, Nancy. Really appreciate it. Kathy Ann, sending love and rewatching Mama Bear's 2-part telling of her story with Doug in memory of him this morning. Xenu Marlene, sir, and happy birthday. Yes, thank you. Yes, I did a 2-part series with Doug on telling my story. And yeah, he made me feel so comfortable. I didn't realize he was going to ask me to start from the very beginning, like from birth. And there was a lot of tragedy from 3 years old to 6 years old and beyond. But he made me feel so comfortable. And one thing he kind of did as just a little bit of like lightening the mood and as a joke to start with, but it really stuck, was Kelly made us this little overlay, and we both loaded it into our stream. Well, he had Restream because he was cool, and I had StreamYard. And so whenever I would start to shed a tear, he'd say, "Hey, let's do a Xena Marlene." So here it is, and he loved this cup that Kelly made. This ain't no joke. Coffee ain't no joke. And if you know, you know. It's just a parody. So Xena Marlene, everyone, and here's to Doug. And this is tea. This is English breakfast tea, or Yorkshire, yeah, something like that. But it's really good. And I even put a little bit of milk in it for all the Brits. So it's really good. But okay. Anyways, yeah, I was listening to HG Tutor yesterday, and I see that, oh, Nancy, you put it in the private chat. Thank you, because I actually forgot to load that one. If you would like to, any links that the mods want to put in of any of Doug's videos, please feel free. And yeah, that's definitely worth it. If I had time and there was so much going on, I would have put up a clip of HG Tutor talking about Doug, and maybe, if you didn't mind, maybe I still could. But yeah, so much. I mean, I can't do him justice. I can't do his work justice, but we'll do our best here. So I just want to hear from you. Susie O, love you, honey. Love you so much. Nobody mess with Susie Oberholtz. That's all I got to say about that. Nico, hey, DJ Nico, good to see you. I never knew Doug well, but I can see how much he meant to you all, and sending all the love I can. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Oh, thank you, Dr. Who Heather. Hope you had a good week, honey. Chat rules. No hate speech, derogatory remarks, or spamming. No fighting. Please be kind and respect the host. Thank you. And don't be a Rodney. That's right. And the mods, of course. Respect the mods. Absolutely. They speak for me. And trigger warning. Yes. Thank you very much. Yeah. I'm just keeping the Xena Marlene up right now. Can you still read those? Okay, good. Hey, Have. So glad you're here, honey. Every day that goes by, it shows us that Doug was so right about so much. Yep. It's about time we start listening more with our minds and less with our emotions. Rest in power, dude. Yeah. Thank you for that. Couldn't agree more. Yep. Chat says, I've never cared so much about someone I never met. He made me feel less alone. Yeah. Agree with that. Poet. None of us feel qualified. Yep. Hear ya. Yep. Xena Marlene. Hey, honey. So we have Kelly Copter in the house, and Doug just absolutely adored her. He really did. And she was such a good friend to him, and he was a good friend to her. And the news is still devastating, I'm sure. Never quite get used to it. And we still miss him so much. And I didn't want his birthday to go by without at least talking about him a little bit. For some, it might be too soon, but he made a real impact in this community. So here we are. Here we are to say happy birthday, Doug, wherever you are. Ines Castro. Hi there. I really appreciate Doug. I wish he was still around. I hope he's having a great time on the other side of the veil and is surrounded by love. Yes. I hope he's surrounded by puppies too. He loved dogs so much. He really, really did. Right, I'm going to take this down for now. We'll put it back up later. Thank you, Purple Light. Some of these I can't read because I'll start crying, but thank you. I mean, I already am, but from a poet comment, I wrote something based on a convo I had with someone in his chat. The time I got to read it to him and gave some background on it, he remembered the person I had the convo with. Yeah, poet, if you still have that and you want to read it, let me know. Just message me on Facebook. I'm totally open to that. And any creators that knew him and want a link, I will send you a link. You can pop in and say a word or two if you want. So let me just get that. Let me know. Poet, thank you. I think that would be great. Selfless Self, just getting into Doug now. Freaking brilliant guy. A huge loss for everyone who had him in their lives. Selfless, you would have loved him. Yeah, he was straight. Yeah, he was a straight shooter and just smart and genuine and just real. I just absolutely adore him. Just a good guy, a really good guy. And I think he really helped me to find myself in this space and to be brave enough to speak my truth and to speak my mind. Just copying the link here. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, if anybody feels like they can, just let me know. I totally understand. I totally understand. He meant so much to us, and it is really hard to talk about it. Hey, not sure how to pronounce your name. Aga? Raja? I'm not sure. Thank you, Marilyn, for organizing Doug's birthday celebration. I'm not very organized, but thank you. Organized Doug's birthday celebration. We all miss him, and today is perhaps felt more, but I'm sure he's here with us in his gorgeous spirit. Never forgotten. Days, but not confused. Yeah, absolutely. TK, I really hope no one missed HG Tudor's eulogy for Doug. I missed him dearly. Let's see how long that is. I want to check it out because there's it's like 15 minutes. Did he do a shorter one where he was talking about his own reaction to it? Because I know he did like a little bit of a history, and then he did one where he was kind of just talking about his feelings on it. If anyone can let me know. I don't want to play the whole 15 minutes. Sorry, guys. I really should have been more organized with that one. But there's the link is I think in the chat. So if if you want to watch it. It was wild that a self-aware narcissistic psychopath I felt gave the best eulogy. I don't mean to laugh, but I think Doug would laugh. Doug would definitely laugh. But whether HG Tudor wants to admit it or not, I think he did love Doug. Even though he said he's not capable of it. And he called him fuel. I think he did. I think he really did care about him as much as he could. So. Oh, Keela. So glad you're here, honey. I miss him so much. Doug was really a true friend. He told it like it was. He also educated us and introduced us to HG. I will always miss him. Marilyn, thank you for talking to me for hours that day. Of course, honey. I'm glad we could be there for each other. Yeah, absolutely. Piffy, Long Stocking Forever comment, it's heartwarming to see and hear Doug. Yeah, it was. I wasn't ready for the longest time, but yeah. Oh, the 15-minute one is short. Oh, shortened. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. I gotcha. All right. A girl. Hey there. I feel like I'm still waiting in the chat room for him to go live and me to hear that song, Hollywood. He would play. Yeah. Yeah. My son Austin learned that song for me in 20 minutes, and if you see the intro I kind of threw up there was a clip of that, and he had me like even feeding him the words because he had never heard it before. So I think Doug would have liked that because he did hear him play guitar a few times through the phone, and he said he was really talented, and Doug played guitar too. So he was a musician as well. So and he thought Austin was really a great musician. So I thought that would be meaningful to have Austin play it. So okay, yeah, yes. If anyone can, the mods can just keep sharing Doug's channel. I'd like to just keep that going. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate that. That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna try to. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. All right, just gonna close a few of these here. Okay. Okay, so I don't see anybody in the waiting room yet. So I'm going to maybe read a few more comments and then I'll play a few clips for you. Virginia Martinez, he was a beautiful human being. I watched his channel and he was extremely kind. He was very kind. Philosophy, hey there. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for that video. Thank you. I also made an edit of his work for his birthday. He really said it so he really said so much in detail so we could understand step by step. Absolutely. He was such a good teacher. I really loved to listen to him and I could really understand what he was saying because he just laid it out so clearly. And I have his last Q&A that he did. I believe it was November 24th. It may have been right after Thanksgiving, I believe, maybe the day after even. And I talked to him on the phone the night before he did this. And we had a lot of plans. And the Aftermath Foundation thing had just gone down with, if you remember, it was November 20th and his Q&A was on the 24th. So we talked about that as well. So everything was kind of fresh, and I'll play some clips from that, but I just want to do a few more comments first. Doug McCoy. Doug left a real mark. He is mentioned on many streams every day. We can only hope to do that. His legacy is one of honest, clear, happy, and he was real. This man was special. Lucky us. Yeah, we are lucky. Kelly Copter. Doug was so kind and thoughtful behind the scenes too. He was purely here in the space to raise the alarm on Scientology. He will always have my respect and a place in my heart. Yeah, I know that. Absolutely. Kenya, hi there. Hey, Marilyn, mods, and chat. Sending love to you all. Missing Doug. May he rest in paradise. That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Asen. Sending love and light to you, Marilyn. Happy birthday, Doug. You are missed. Yes, he is. Happy birthday, Doug. Absolutely. All right, I think I got a message. 1 second. Oh, thank you. Let's see what we got. Yeah, Keela, if you can give me like a timestamp, I can maybe do that, but I don't want to play the whole 15, 20-minute video, but thank you, honey. Appreciate that. All right. Chow Yun Smart. Hi, sweetie. This is Cricket. If anyone doesn't know, this is Cricket. Cricket is everybody. She's not usually a day walker, but I'm glad you're here. Doug, brother, I miss you terribly, so terribly. And so does your girlfriend, Elvira, the dog. Yes. Every night I hoist a glass to you. You do. You do. She does the Xenu Marlene. Every night she has a beautiful song. Cricket, if you want to pop in, you're welcome to. I can give you a thing if you want to come in and sing Xenu Marlene. I would love that. Totally up to you though, honey. I know it's like 1:00,000 for you. Let me see if I can get there we go. Just in case. John Shamwowski. Hey there, friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, it's funny. I was just thinking about the time he pranked the Dianetics number with Joni. That was hilarious. Just thinking about, yeah, here it is. Somebody said, Lumen, remember when Doug actually got through to the 1990s Dianetics? And he got the girl on the other line to say Xenu. Oh my God. Yeah, that was so funny. He and Joni were hilarious. I was laughing my ass off that night. Yes, his last live was November 26th. I remember because it was my birthday. Yeah. I know he said happy birthday in that stream, and I do have that fired up to put on. Yeah. And Aga or Aja wants to do another Xena Marlene, so we can do that. I'm in no hurry. We'll stay as long as everybody wants to. Go, everybody partake. You can do a morning donut, as Cricket always says, piece of cake, Tic Tac, whatever. Cheers. Cheers to Doug. And we joke about it a little bit. He was, I was listening to H.G. Tudor say how he had chastised, I love how he talks, chastised Doug about his smoking. And I remember Doug saying that, it was okay with him if it took 10 years off his life, and it really, I think it did. And I remember I used to tell him, you really should get a dog. You really need a dog, and dogs need you. And he said, I've thought about it, but he said, with the smoking, I can't do that to a dog. And that, that was kind of him not to do that. But Doug had a mind of his own, and he joked about it. But honestly, tomorrow will be 5 weeks for me without a cigarette or any nicotine. And I'll tell you, I'm 3 years older than Doug would have been. And I got to the point where I really couldn't go 20 minutes without coughing, having a coughing fit. And so I'm much better now, but he did inspire me, whether he knew it or not, to quit smoking, because I know that was something that contributed to him not being here. So no judgment on him or anyone, or even on myself, even though I beat myself up about it a lot. But Doug has made such an impact on my life in so many ways. It's just, yeah, it's unbelievable. Oh, Cricket's here. Okay. Without further ado, hi.
Hi.
I'm glad you're here.
I wouldn't miss it. He and
How are
I
you?
were only a couple of months different in age, because I'm turning 51 in September.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were so similar in so many ways. So I absolutely wouldn't miss it for the world.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. Yeah. Wow. We were on a stream right after it happened, and you went through a tough time. You were his mod for at least a month or two, right? And you were back in StreamYard or Restream it was, because he
Yeah.
was much cooler than the rest of us. And you have Restream too.
Yep.
But
It's
he
the only
would
thing I
always
know.
yeah, he would always speak well of you, and you really, kept the chat that was still waiting for him days later, everybody calm, because it was crazy.
It was Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
And it was really the launch of my channel, but I didn't really see it as a launch at the time, because all I wanted to do was provide a place where people could go to get a little bit of distraction and not spin each other up, because that's all that was happening
Yeah.
in his chat, was just people spooling each other up with worst case scenarios and what ifs and everything else. And I really, at the bottom of my heart, all I wanted, because he had been known to take off for a week or two at a time, all I really wanted was for him to be at Big Bear or surfing someplace, possibly stoned out of his mind and contemplating his navel, and not concentrating on all of the madness that was happening in the YouTube universe at the time. That's all I wanted for him. And when that turned out not to be the case, I was just as shattered as everybody.
Yeah.
And I know that you know that.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we sort of took shifts a little bit, because like I mean, I was awake a lot too, but you kind of held space for the night crew and I held space for the day crew.
100%.
And it was definitely the launch of your channel, which you still are, the Dirty Stay Ups at 2 a.m. my time. I start to turn into a pumpkin between 1 and 2. And I did for a while. I was addicted to being up, being a dirty stay up. But I realized that after about a couple weeks, staying up till 4 in the morning, I would get so wired that I couldn't function the next day. So
You still have your moments, though. You
I
show
do.
up every once in
I
a
do
while.
pop. Yes, I do pop in when I'm awake. I
And I
do.
love that. I love that. We love it when you pop in.
It's like no time has elapsed, really,
Legit. I understand when people can't, but we have people from all over the world that show up. If you had told me 8 months ago that I would be going on YouTube almost every night and talking live to people, I would have laughed in your face. And
Yeah,
really,
I just love this. I love that you have you hold space for people, and you also have your own little way of expressing yourself. I love your voice. I love all your little, gimmicks. They're greeit. I just
my
love it.
weirdnesses.
And for the longest time, like I was getting, and I'll be honest, you got guys, I'm just gonna say it out there. I was starting on a new medication and I kept forgetting to take it. And when I started like watching your channel, you'd remind me every night. And you'd start singing the night meds of the Flintstones thing. And then sometimes it would be like in the early morning, you'd start like right before you left, you'd start singing the day meds song. And I'm like, oh my God, I gotta have Cricket come on and sing that. But yeah, whatever you want to break out in song, we can do the Xena Marlene. Can we do one now?
I am
Let's do
ready.
a Xena Marlene. Okay. Okay, ready?
Grab your whatever it is in which you are indulging It's a potato chip. It's a cookie. It's an adult beverage. It's a toke, Brian Lucas. Whatever it is. Zinu Marlena. Everybody partake.
That was beautiful. Cheers. Cheers to Doug. Yeah. So I'm going to put everybody on the spot that comes up here. If you could just give me one word to describe Doug.
Authentic.
Yeah, definitely. And can you think of, like, I know he taught us so much, but can you think of like one moment in time? Yeah. or just something he taught you, or just some memory that you want to share.
A memory, for sure. I mean, we shared so much between the two of us, but the memory that I have that stands out so vividly was when I was down at my best friend's place in the Twin Cities in Minneapolis, St. Paul area, Minnesota. And their dog, Elvira, I was modding for him. I'm just backstage. I'm just doing things. I'm starring comments. Also, his supportiveness for me as like Bambi on the ice. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm flailing all over the place. But next to me on the couch is this dog. And she's being adorable. She's got her chin on my leg and she's snoring away. And Doug noticed it and he's like, in the middle of the stream, oh my God, Cricket, can I please bring you on screen? Because that dog is so amazing. And I need to see the dog on the screen. He brought her on and he could hear her snoring. And that was the big thing. He's like, oh, everybody be quiet. You can hear her snoring. Will you please pet her for me right now? And so I had to reach over and give the dog scritches, which was, not a big request. It didn't put me out. And she just kept on snoring, but she was so happy. That's all he wanted, was for her to be happy and to get those scritches and to hear her snoring. And I actually told my best friend after we knew that he had gone on, I told her, listen, because she was crushed. She always wanted him to meet the dog. It wasn't that she wanted to meet him. She wanted him to meet the dog. And I told her, if you ever see somebody that looks like a 6'2" blonde surfer dude hanging out in your yard and you can see him, but you can't really see him, but you can kind of see him, and he's playing with the dog, that's Doug. 100%.
I know. Love dogs.
The big memory for me is him. I mean, I have a number of them, but that was the one that stands out because it was so much about Elvira. He loved her so much and he had never even met her. And all I want for him is to know that whatever happens next, oh, she is a lovely, good doggy, Yadira. Es verdad. All I ever wanted was to know that, because none of us knows what happens, right?
Yeah.
When he passed over, all I've ever wanted to know was that he was surrounded by animals, and they helped show him where he was supposed to go and what to do. That's all I ever wanted for him.
Yeah. He just had such a good heart. And yeah, you can tell if someone's an animal person, they have a good heart.
Yep.
And it was funny that when I was introduced to you through Doug, and the first time I ever saw you was, of course, I had seen your name, but was
Sure.
the stream that you did with Doug about the free wins, and you were giving it the bird. You were down in, it was at Aruba or Carousel or somewhere,
Aruba.
and was that? Oh my God. Yeah, that was a funny stream. And I watched the whole thing. It was like, was that
Feel
like a
my
record?
finger.
Yeah, that was great. I loved
I
it.
did that for Alicia,
Yeah.
degraded daughter Alicia. I was like, feel my finger. This is for you, Alicia.
Oh my God. So I'm going to play his last stream that he did. Well, not his last stream, but his last Q&A was right after Thanksgiving. And, he passed a few weeks later, maybe 2 weeks later. And I would like to skip through it, but the beginning, shows it's going to be probably sad, maybe a little tough to watch, but he mentions you several times. Yes, I have him too. He mentions philosophy. He mentions Kelly. Yeah, and some things that we were working on. And then someone asked him about his mom. And I want to play that, even though it's really hard, but it was almost like he had some premonition or something for the future,
He might have known.
So yeah, like he knew something. Yeah.
Yep.
So if you want to stick around, I'm just going to play this. I'm going to kind of play it through and skip around, but if not, if you want to,
I'm here for as long as you want me.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna pop stuff up. So yeah, if you want to stick around, that's fine. I might have some other people coming up, so we'll see what happens. But let me just switch over. Might take a second here. Still trying to navigate how to go back and forth.
Girl, you're smoother at it than I am.
This tab.
I can't make a thumbnail or an emoji, so you're doing better than me.
I'm working on it. It's very trial and error, that's for sure.
Oh,
Okay.
fact.
All right, let me pop this up. Okay. Oh, this is even hard to look at, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, here we are.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to the usual Sunday Q&A called Days After Dark. Real quick on the game, so to speak, if you're new here. So this is where we hang out at the end of the week. We take up any questions that came up during the week on this week's videos, questions that are in the comment to start off with if we don't have any, and basically anything that's on your mind. And since the drama is all the rage, if you guys want to take that up, that's fine. If you want to avoid it, that's fucking fine by me too. Because we kind of covered that anyways in the last stream, and you guys that have been following the channel know we've been kind of discussing the ex-Scientology community a lot already. So there's not really anything new to say, but we can take that up if you want. Let's see, Retired Red. I've been on my Okay. We got Cricket in the background, by the way. She's just throwing up things to say hi to people and stuff. Creepy. Happiest of birthday philosophy. Oh, happy birthday philosophy. And we were actually going to start out with a question. The reason we're late, philosophy, it's your fault, is we were going to take up a question that you have where I promised you I would take it up as a first question on this Sunday's Q&A, but I couldn't find the fucking thing. So I'm just going to have to try to riff off of it or remember it. But anyways, guys, it's a party game. So whenever you ask a question and or comment and the word Xenu / or Marlene is in there, we take a hit of our favorite poison. Mine, as you guys know, is weed. If you want to drink, take a sip of coffee or water, or just not partake at all. That's sort of the game. And the goal is to keep going until I fall with my head on my computer. So as you can see there, I'm going to remove this thing so it's not too annoying. But if you ask questions, it helps. Or if you put question marks, it helps Cricket to, in the background, who's modding to find the questions, and then we can throw them out. So let's go ahead and remove that. And we'll remove this as well. Okay, so since I don't see any questions yet, I wanted to start off with what Philosophy was talking about. And basically she asked, in the last one we were describing how Scientology is kind of a new age cult in the way of thought creates reality. They had this thing called postulates in Scientology. And there's different levels of intention you can have on making a postulate. And a postulate basically is the idea that to really be a Scientologist, to really be a high level OT, to really show that you have your powers, one of the main things is to be able to make a postulate happen. So in other words, you think of something, and the speed at which you can make it actually manifest in the physical universe is sort of how high you are on their tone scale, or how high you're operating as a operating thetan, which is defined as a being who is at cause knowingly and willingly over matter, energy, space, time, form, and event, both subjective and objective.
Yeah. He just had an amazing way of explaining things. He just drew you in. I mean, he included everybody, and you knew who his friends were. You knew who his enemies were. And I love how he started with hello, friends. You know,
Always.
good evening, friends. Good evening, friends.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah. I love him. Okay. So the next part I have, I'm not even sure what it is. I just wrote down the timestamps. Go ahead. You want to say something?
I actually, and I kind of feel bad about this, but over on the lifeboat, when Spanx took over for Tommy, he's trying to make his own way, and he was trying to find an intro countdown.
I do remember that. Mm-hmm.
He used the same one, and I sent him an email, and I'm like, this might just be me. But that's the intro countdown that Doug Scott Kramer used. And I'm not going to lie, there aren't a whole lot of things that trigger me in this world. That's one of them. I had you in my watch later queue, and I'm just, doing my thing with my watch later queue, and it's going through. And then that came up, and I was like, how do I have a Doug video on my watch later queue? That's impossible.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Dawn Gloves, because I mean, it seriously kicked my ass. So I did send the email to Spanx, and Spanx was like, I bless him. He's like, let's explore this. Let's talk about this. Tell me more about what's going on with that. And I'm like, I don't know if it's just me. So you may want to reach out to the community, but it's just this one simple thing, because that's the one that Doug always used. And I think he had a little bit of information about the fact that Doug had passed. I don't know, but he got back to me and he said, you know what? I appreciate your sharing this with me. I cannot. And I told him, I'm not here to tell you what to do, what not to do with your own show. He said, I can't in good conscience know that I'm not only triggering one person, but possibly many. I'm going to have to change the countdown. And he did.
Yeah.
And
I think that was for a restream one, right?
Yeah.
Chloe said, aren't they all preset countdowns on YouTube for setting up Premiere? Right. It was for a live, right? And restream is different because
anyone
they
can
have
use them.
they're canned, right? Yeah.
He thought it was the coolest one. Spanx thought it was the coolest one that was available on the free version of Restream.
Yeah, I have said I loved it. It felt like it was still keeping him alive. Yeah, it definitely reminded me of him. Definitely.
I'm kind of a dick, but it's
everybody.
very It punched
Everybody
me in the
thinks of
face.
things different. Yeah, everybody. I was like at first. I mean, I wasn't upset about it, but I was like, it did startle me. I was like, oh, that reminds me of Doug. I was like, oh, I thought Doug, because he did make a lot of his own outros and intros and stuff. So I thought it was something that he had actually made. So and then I
Right.
realized it was
It's one of the free ones that Restream allows you to use. And Spanx was like, this seemed to be like the coolest one that was available to me.
Yeah, Kathy Ann Spanks is such a kind guy. I'm sure he understood that was painful. Yeah. Yeah. And
Legit, Kathy Ann.
everybody,
He was the sweetest. He said, there's no way that I can, in good conscience, continue using this if I know that
right,
it's going
everyone
to
handles it differently.
more than one person.
Right.
And
Okay,
he
so I'm
changed
gonna
it.
if there's anything else you want to share, I'm gonna move on to doing some more clips and some more
Please.
starred questions. I got 30 starred questions, and I'm hoping that a certain friend of ours from Arizona might pop in. I'm not, if she's awake. It's 3 hours earlier there, so we'll
Yeah.
see. I'm hoping.
She
But
gets up early, though.
what's that?
She gets up
She
early.
gets up early, yeah. So I'm hoping. I just told her, I'll hang out for a little while, and yeah, I'm not in a hurry. So thanks so much. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. We'll see you soon. And you're welcome to stay in the chat as long as you want. And if not, I totally understand. You need your beauty rest. But thanks for day walking with us. For
Who needs sleep?
All right, honey. See you later. Bye. Thank you, Cricket. This was awesome. So we got to hear her sing and everything. I think it's great. Okay. So let's do another clip here. Here we go. See what I had here.
You find out the next one, Cricket. Why don't we throw up can someone please say Xenu for God's sake, so we can lighten the mood here, not be so damn serious, and take a hit of our favorite poison?
Oh boy, another one.
Marilyn and the hizzy.
Hi.
Okay, well, you're figuring that out. I'm just gonna Cricket. I'm just gonna pretend the party has already. There you go. Thanks, Martha. Can always count on you. If you're new, let me just explain it real quick. So, like I said, this is where we get together at the end of the week and just hang out and chat. Anything you want to ask, I try to answer. Again, I'm not a guru. These are just totally my opinions. I'm not a psychologist, et cetera, et cetera. But let me see if I can find that freaking slide. Okay, so Kelly, the aforementioned Kelly Copter, made this awesome slide. Where the hell is it? Okay, there it is. I have to move my ass down now. See, it says Xenu, Marlene there. Everyone partake. Let me boot you guys out of the chat for a quick second so you can see it. So whenever anybody like Martha says the word Xenu, we take a quick hit of our favorite poison. Again, 34% THC weed for me.
Okay, Doug. Let's do Xenu Marlene, everybody. I didn't realize how many of those there were. Yeah. What else would I want to do? I definitely wanted to play some more of those clips, but let me go through some more of your comments. All right. And yes, thank you, Nancy Alley. I know she had to run, but thank you so much. Aja, I keep wanting to saying Aja, but Aga. I got introduced to Doug by watching the 2-part interview he did with you, Marilyn. You both had this amazing energy together. Xenu Marlene, cheers. Everyone partake. We did. I loved streaming with him. I loved talking to him online, offline, on the phone, whatever. We had such a good, chemistry. We had good banter. He was the king of banter. I mean, if I had more time, I would have put up clips of like the werewolf game. He was there for all 3 werewolf games, and he was hilarious. Kelly Copter, they're all on Kelly Copter's channel. those out. I mean, he was the master. He was definitely the MVP of every single one of those werewolf games, and he loved it. And yeah, he was just so good at banter. I just so funny. Just the back and forth was great. Great. Kathy Ann, don't ever think I still have time. Say you love them, give them the hug, make the call. Yes. Time is not infinite for us on this side. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Live like you were dying. Yeah. Live like today's your last day. I mean, not in a morbid way, but in a, love. We heard Natalie say it so many times about use the good towels and burn the candles and live, live your life. Hey, Windy City, thank you much. Good to see you. Thanks for the opportunity to celebrate Doug. My pleasure. He was a good guy, good friend. Really, really was. Oh, now what? I really didn't know why I was doing it, but I found myself watching the videos you and Doug did on Thursday. Guess he was calling. RIP and birthday wishes, Doug. Yeah, we did 3 streams together, and we had so many more planned. And yeah, I'm just grateful for the time that I had with him. Definitely. Tequila alive in Mexico. Either Tequila alive in Mexico. Thank you for doing this stream, Marilyn. Much love and respect for my very favorite ex-Scientology creator, Doug. Definitely missed and not forgotten. No, he's not forgotten. That's for sure. Pause for Andrea. I always appreciated his adoration of pets. I think he said something to the effect of don't put any effing human being on a pedestal. Only your pet. Yes. And I didn't write down the timestamp, but I think I can find it. It's on the stream that I have up, and I will try to find it. Virginia Martinez. Hi there. Thank you so much for the super chat. Doug was a beautiful and kind human being. Absolutely. Absolutely was. Absolutely. Indigo Twin, thanks so much for the super chat. I truly believe his spirit is still with you, Marilyn, and with all those he touched while alive. Thank you for that. I believe that too. I really do. Yeah. There's times when Kelly and I have been talking, we're like, he's been haunting us. Yeah. And I am so excited to see who I see down in the back office. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Whenever you're ready, honey. Give me a thumbs up. Yes. All right. Here she is. Diane.
Hi.
Hi.
I
Hi,
have
honey.
swimmer's hair, so I look kind of crazy right now.
You look like a mermaid. You look
It's
beautiful.
early time, damn it. No, I'm just kidding. It's good to see you, though.
Yeah, you look gorgeous. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. It's
Of course.
Privilege.
So, if anyone doesn't know who you are, which I'm sure most people do, you're Marisa, aka Dianetics, second gen, and friend of Doug, right? And anything you want to share today, we're here for it.
Yeah, I didn't really prepare anything in advance, so I'm kind of just talking on the fly. So, can you hear me all right? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good.
I can hear you.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously it's, happy birthday, Doug, but at the same time it's like a sad feeling, of course. And I guess just looking over the years of who he is as a person, um, I'm gonna miss those really deep philosophical discussions with him.
Yeah.
It's really hard to meet someone like that. He really knew how to get in there and just dive into the deep matter of he was a very deep thinker. I consider myself a deep thinker, and he was 5 times more intense. And we would
I
get
felt
into
the same way.
Yeah, we would get into really interesting conversations, but then he would ask me, he'd be like, "Well, what do you think about this and that?" But I mean, by him asking me, it got me to think for myself and possibly look at things in a different,
And
in a
he really
different.
wanted to know. Didn't you feel like that? It was like, instead of being like, "Oh, how you doing?" It was like, "What do you think about this?" And he would he would listen. He was such a good listener.
Yeah,
He'd
he
draw
was.
it out of you.
He's really a great listener, and he also, I mean, there was a really funny side to him too. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw that. I watched his show. I wasn't like honestly like a frequent watcher, but I watched it enough. I guess because just knowing him over the years, we had already discussed a lot of things that he would make shows about. Um, but he really had a funny side. I think that's what I'm going to miss. We were Facebook friends for like over a decade, and then before that, just I know he had been around for a while, like I think like since like the anonymous movement, kind of figuring things out for himself,
Yeah.
being raised with Scientology and what he had to deal with. And it's really, I have a message from him. I saved it on my phone. It's like 2 minutes long. It's a really, really long message. And I try not to listen to it because it makes me sad, but I bought a new phone and I had to get rid of my voice messages, some of them, and then his popped up, and it was probably a couple weeks, before he unfortunately passed away, but I was supposed to be on his show again, and something came up
Yeah.
where I couldn't make it, so it's like this 2-minute long message of him giving me instructions. He's like, just in case if you can pop in, this is what you do. And but it was funny because I remember the first time I heard his message, after 20 seconds, I'm like, okay, Doug, I know what, like, but he turned it into like a 2 minute. It was just kind of funny, but it's sad at the same time. Like when I hear it now, I'm just like, oh man, I really wish I had made that last show of his, you know. But
Yeah, I have a clip of his last Q&A at towards the end of November, and he brings up your channel. I remember I'm pretty sure it was the night before that we were talking, and you had just dropped a video while we were talking. It had to be probably 2 o'clock in the morning here. And he's like,
yeah,
hey, man, hey, dude, can I call you back in 15 minutes? I just got to listen to Maurice's video. And I'm like, yeah, I do too. So,
oh,
and I can't remember. I think maybe you were poking fun at Mitch Brisker or something. But it was
Minch,
great. So
Minch
I,
Brisker.
yeah, I totally want to play that clip because of him putting up your channel the next night and saying, "Oh, you got to watch this." And he was saying he was going to have you on, but you're so busy, so they were trying to work it out. But yeah, I'll see if I can find that real quick. It was just so
Oh
cute.
God, oh embarrassing. I don't know
Yeah,
what I
and
was
you
saying.
get up.
Probably embarrassing, but no, I'm really gonna miss him because he really did have a unique show. I
Really
think
did,
unlike
yeah.
anybody else, and I'm gonna really miss the things that he talked about. And um, there can only be one Doug. Although I do consider myself a good friend of his, it's like I could never take his place or do what he did and think what he thought. And
Yeah,
um, you know, it's just. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I think about it. So I'm one of those people where sometimes when someone passes away, it doesn't hit me for like a few months. And that kind of happened to me like last month where it was sort of like hitting me where I'm like, man, this like really sucks. And, it's kind of, you just have like high days and low days.
totally.
Um,
Yeah.
it is weird not being able to talk to him about certain things though. So I guess we all just have to do our best and continue on, hopefully, where he left off. I know he really cared about you a lot. I've told you before, and Kelly, is she there somewhere? I can't see her.
Yeah, she's in the chat.
Oh, okay. Hi, Kelly.
Yeah, she
Um,
knows she can come up, but not everybody is able to. So,
oh,
not
okay.
ready. Yeah,
I
it's
don't,
just it's so
all I can,
sad, you know. I mean, you said you have your good days and bad days. I have my good minutes and bad minutes because I've already been through a whole bunch of, yeah. Um yeah,
I
a
think
whole
it's
bunch of
great
that.
that you're doing this, though. I mean, it's really nice of you. Thank you, honestly. It's really kind of
Well,
considerate to even think about, you know, his
I
birthday
hope
or
it
kind
isn't
of.
too soon. Yeah, I hope it isn't too soon for everybody, but I just didn't want his birthday to go by, you know. Oh, Kelly says, "Hey, hey, Marisa. Hey. You mind if
That's
I
good.
play this a few of these little clips?"
Um, yeah, I don't know what it's gonna be, but go
Well,
for
it's
it.
you're not on it, but he shows your channel, and then he goes into some other things, and then he talks about his mom. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, that's totally. That's good.
Okay. All right. Let me this up. There's your channel.
Oh goodness.
From Mitch Brisker, which is absolutely hilarious and she's spot on, to Scientology. Why can't we all just get along? Go and subscribe to this chick channel, by the way, guys. In fact, I'm going to do so right now. This is a good
gotta
friend who,
subscribe.
we've been talking about this shit for years. One of the few people that has a pair of brass balls and will actually say it like it is. My personal experience with OSA and what it's really like. Friday night, just got paid, not a Scientologist. We still get laid. Hell yeah. Anyways, I'm going to link her in the description box because I just wanted to say this has been a subject that's been covered a lot. I feel like I'm already talking too much about it. And can we fucking end that for now? Right? The statement has been made. I didn't want to dodge it tonight because I felt everybody's going to be asking these. And like I said, I'll leave plenty of links in the description box and then we'll pick it up again if and when need be. But I don't want this to detract from the content, but maybe it's necessary to talk about. So,
Okay. And he kind of skips around a little bit, but I did want to play the part about his mom. But yeah, he absolutely adored you, and he just thought you were the funniest. He was like, just loved your channel, like we all do.
Yeah, had a funny sense of humor, like us. I don't know. Maybe it's because of, he's a total. I was born in the Bay Area, California, although I grew up in Arizona, and me and him just kind of had that same. We both liked a lot of the same music and kind of talked the same way, like, I don't want to say bad words, but right on, dude.
That's
Like,
okay.
yeah, and kind of. I guess I could relate. We had that like
Yeah.
California hippie.
He said you had a pair of brass balls. Yeah, he had mad respect for you.
Well, we've been through like a lot of crap in this whole world for a long time, to put it nicely. I think at least over a decade. His story, is different than mine, but just the things we've had to deal with like different characters. Ultimately, it's kind of the same people. we
Yeah,
I don't know. He was definitely a kindred spirit, but oh my
absolutely.
goodness. I know you and Kelly both are really great friends towards him. And yeah, I sometimes wonder what he would be doing today with all of this stuff.
I
I
know.
get asked
Oh
a
my
lot.
goodness, a penny for his thoughts. I wish I could pick his brain, and sometimes I feel like you and Kelly are the closest thing I have to that. You know what I mean? Like, you both are so real, and none of us can replace Doug. We don't know exactly how he'd be reacting, but I do know for sure that I mean, I would love your parodies and all your comedy that you do on your channel, for one thing, and your nicknames are freaking hilarious. And he also he was aware of what was going on with the after flap, the flapter math, whatever you want to call it, and Aaron. And I remember, he was hard on everyone. He was hard on Aaron even. But one of the last things he said to me about Aaron was that he felt like he was happy that Aaron finally saw the light about Mike Rinder. So
I told
that
Aaron the
was
same thing. I was like, "Hey, man, this is like the best thing that could have ever happened to you, getting kicked out of, of that shithole." Oh, sorry, but
yeah.
I told him like the other. I just hate this like group fighting. To me, it's weird because they're charities. So I'm like, you guys, these are like charities. You fight battle of the charities. I kind of compared it to, I don't know, like the Make a Wish Foundation fighting the March of Dimes or
Oh my,
something.
yeah,
Like,
really.
so
The two
people,
charities. I know. It's like, why does there always have to be a charity involved? People, yeah. Oh, hey,
we thought,
Rabbit's here. Down the rabbit hole
oh,
news. Hey, Rabbit. So good to see
hi,
you.
Brad.
Thank you for
Good
stopping
to
in.
Thank
She's
you,
another
lady.
badass, I tell you. She tells it like it is. I mean, and I know she's a big fan of yours, Rabbit.
Yeah, I feel the same about her, and she's is funny. I think she has a good way of describing things. She's very detailed,
Yep.
considering what she's talking about. I've never heard someone give such a very detailed description of Selena. I don't know what it was. If it was like it was a mini series, but I'm like, dude, she needs to be like the Siskel and Ebert of, I don't
Right.
know, shows.
Yeah, she
But
just cuts through the crap and gets to the heart of the matter. I love it. And then sometimes when there's just so much, all kinds of shit shows going on in SBTV alone. I mean, I know that Rabbit covers a lot of other things as well, true crime and everything. But oh, love me some Selena. But just when I'm just like, oh my God, like I don't want to mention any of this crap that's going on in SPTV. And then Rabbit will pop live and be like, let's talk about it. I'm like, yeah,
oh,
she goes
yeah,
there.
I'm trying to stay out of. I really do try to stay, because I mean, I'm friends with, like I said, I don't put logos really on my thing. And I don't think Doug really did. Doug was not really a logo. Well, he had his logo for his
Yeah, sometimes he would
specific
say
show.
SPTV News, but yeah, he didn't consider himself, you know, chained to SPTV. He was himself. He was Doug. He was Doug, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I try to be, but I do agree with him when, yeah, about seeing the light and how many years it took. So I honestly think for the most part, a lot of us are on the same page. And unfortunately, a certain half is not on the same page, and it's, I guess, bound to cause problems. But then, you're
Yeah.
talking to a group of people that have a lot of history with each other that stems like of 1 decade, maybe even 2 decades or more. Um, I have my history with who I make my parody videos about, that goes back
Yeah.
at least a decade or more. Um, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
you
I
know
don't
what?
know.
While you're saying that, what popped into my mind is that, people have been asking me to kind of, oh, can you weigh on this? What's your position on that? And I'm like, listen, my position has not changed from the beginning. I'm here to support the second gens. I feel like I don't want to get into the family feud. You know what I mean? It's like you guys all have a history together. Sometimes you have your squabbles. I don't, that's not my business. My business is to just be here to hold space, and I've gotten so much out of it too, because I feel like we understand each other, even though we came from two different cults, you know?
Definitely, it is kind of the same thing, sort of. But I mean, you went through the same thing we did, but a different belief, but the
Yeah.
same thing. I was just
Yeah.
watching Soft White Underbelly actually the other day, and he had this gospel singer on that grew up in a Pentecostal cult. I don't know if you saw that. I've never heard of the guy. I guess
No,
he was
I'll
like
have to
really
check it out.
famous.
I like that channel. It's great. Yeah.
It sounds like what you grew up in, though. I'm like, I wonder if
It
that's
was
what.
crazy.
It sounded like it though, when the way he was describing it. I'm like, this sounds just like Scientology, except with like a strongly emphasized belief of, Jesus and God and
Well,
stuff.
yeah, it had its own version of all those things, because when I was a kid, instead of auditing, we'd be put in a room and I had demons cast out of me. I had, people laying their hands all over me, like the touch assist. I had dirty old men who smelled like salami, like touching my back, and it was disgusting. And then you had people that were like getting slain in
Possession.
the spirit and the speaking in tongues. It was just so crazy. But the strange, the strange thing about it too was also the similarities of like the magical thinking and the body thetans versus the demons, and the healing versus the, I don't know what they call it in Scientology, the superpowers or whatever. Yeah, it was just like so confusing
Kind of like
and
OT
bizarre.
powers. I don't know. Yeah, Scientology's just weird. I mean, it's a lot of it's sort of becoming a distant memories. I haven't done anything in it in 22 years. I still remember a lot of it. Like the auditing is probably something I'll never forget, because I had a lot of it done to me as a child. But certain terms and like words, I'm like, I don't remember that one. So I don't know if it's like I'm getting older and just losing my memory, or maybe I didn't learn those words. I don't know.
Yeah, Doug would talk about he would talk about things like it was just so easy to understand. Like he would compare things from my past and his past. And one thing that he said that really made so much sense was when he learned about the reactive mind, for instance, or even Zeno, he didn't know, like he didn't know he had a reactive mind, right? Until they told him. He's like, I didn't know there was anything wrong with me. I didn't know I had a reactive mind till they told me I did. And then they're like, we can fix it. So, and that's what cults do. Like with me, it was the sin nature and it was demons. Like you were born bad. You're a bad person. You need a savior. So, we're gonna give you the problem. We're gonna tell you what's wrong with you, and then we're gonna fix it. Just like with like an MLM or snake oil or whatever. It's like, yeah, this is the cure for something you didn't even know you had wrong with you. So that when he told me that, I was like, you know what? You're absolutely 100% right. Yeah.
Yeah, he did have a good like insight on that. And I know a funny memory I have with him is, I mean, he like my father is a considered a past life clear, and my mom, I don't she really didn't make it to clear, but she did go up the bridge quite a bit. Oh, Doug, yeah, he actually made it to, I think it was like OT3, which despite popular belief, we don't really learn about Xenu. Like I never learned about Xenu. Like you don't learn about Xenu at all until you do OT3. I learned
Right.
about Xenu honestly from South Park. Like back when it aired, because we all were called into the org, and they gave us a briefing like not to watch it. They're like, this show's gonna come on tonight called South Park, and they told us like not to watch it because if we did, it could have like catastrophic effects on us, and that like we could possibly die. But
You could get
I was a
pneumonia.
yeah, it was really weird. But I was a teenager at the time, so in my mind, I'm like, well, I want to watch it. Obviously, like we're doing the opposite of what you're told.
Hey,
So I watched
Alicia,
it.
South Park was, yeah, historic. Hi, Alicia. Hi, sweetie.
Oh, hi, Alicia. So yeah, that's how I heard about
Yeah.
it. But I remember asking Doug. We were having, and he's been pretty open about this himself publicly. So it's not like I'm saying anything secret. But I mean, I remember asking him. I'm like, did you? I'm like, you made it to OT3. I'm like, did you really believe in Xenu? And I remember his exact words. He's like, fuck yeah, I did.
He told me that too.
But I remember laughing. I'm like, are you serious? Like, you really believed in that? And he's like, yeah, man, like all the way. And we would just, I thought it was so funny because I never like made it that far, like OT level wise. But it was
Right.
just fun hearing him because we're close to the same age. And like, man, I don't know. I remember watching it on South Park, and actually my parents watched it too. And afterwards, we kind of were sitting there scratching our heads. Mainly my parents, they were like, this is really OT3? Like, this is
So
really
they
what
had
it's
never gotten that far either. Your parents never got
No,
that
and they
far.
were like still like
Oh,
kind of hardcore into Scientology, but I remember they were sitting there kind of like really quizzical, like puzzled, like, is this really what OT, like, this is what we've been waiting for? So
I know.
it's like, what a, oh, man. Yeah, just when I look back on my life, I'm like, holy shit. But it was good to talk to him about it because he made it humorous, and even though it was very weird and bizarre, he kind of brought like this kind of understanding and kind of made it feel normal where you didn't feel like such a freak talking about it.
Yeah,
So that's what I get in this
totally.
about him.
Yeah, we did one stream on just comparing the language of my cult and Scientology, and it made so much sense the way he broke it down. And we were going into doing things about like NLP and hypnosis and all that. And I was looking forward to it because we had our own version of that as well. So yeah, it definitely is so similar, just different words, different language. But
And
do you mind if I
seriously.
play a clip of what about him and his mom?
No, yes, go for it.
Okay,
You
let's
have
do that.
all the goods, girl. You got all the goods.
All right, I will pop that up. I just got to find the right timestamp real quick. Yeah, it almost seemed like what we would say in my background, prophetic, but it was like, I don't know, it was just uncanny, like kind of like you knew something. Let me see if I can find it. All right, I'll pop it up so that I can look for it. I should have written it down. Okay, I think I got it.
So yeah, but hey, I see what you did there. You're already going one higher, one level up than keyboard warrior. Maybe we could
Oh, it
create
was
a
about the
bridge
logo.
of different levels based on Mike Grinder's infamous keyboard warrior statement that is now burned in the heads of the entire SPTV community and the watchers. I've noticed a lot of SPTV creators have removed the logo from their videos. Is that connected to this week's drama? If they are keyboard, yeah, of course it would be. I'm personally don't care one way or the other to remove it because, as we talked about at the beginning of the stream, if you're just joining us, keyboard, we did talk about this. And Kelly Copter, and I'm going to link her video in the description box, explain this beautifully at the beginning of her video today on the subject. It's not a group. There's nothing to sign. There's no forms. It's simply anybody that is an ex-Scientologist that wants to share their story, whether you were in for 2 summers like a prostate Alex or Mike Grinder where you were the head of OSA.
What are you saying?
Oh my gosh. That's funny. Sorry.
There are so many things in this stream. Oh my god! So I did put the link below in the description if anyone wants to watch it all the way through. Oh my god, there are so many nuggets in here. But let me skip to the part about his mom. But I thought the thing about the logo that made sense too, because he's like, it's just whatever. It's just people, doing their thing, and it's not a group, or it's not. Oh, here's
Yeah, funny way
Theta
of
Tata.
creating names.
What
Actually,
do
I don't
you
know
call
if
Alex?
one, no. I think someone else created that name whose name I will leave unmentioned. At
Yes. Whose name? Kelly made this mug, this troll mug.
Oh goodness, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Doug used to love this mug. He would laugh so much. Okay, this is a little more serious, but the part about someone asked him about his mom. Okay, I think it's
shit, so we won't have to talk about it too much. Okay, Janet, how's it going with you and your mom? Doug, thanks for asking, Janet. I hope better all the time. It is. In fact, I mean, it's kind of personal, but I'll just, without being specific, I'll give you the broad strokes. So it's getting better and better. And I think that we will actually meet up. See, here's the thing. My mom told me that let me back up. Right before my dad died, he died in March of this year. I have to go through, if I want to talk to my parents, I can't talk to them on the phone, but I can email them, and only if it's something to do with business. So that's been our relationship for since I got out, since about 2010. So about 13 years. I haven't seen my family. I haven't talked to them on the phone except maybe once in a blue moon. And then it would be just once in a while emailing them, and it always has to go through mom. So about a year ago, I guess I accidentally emailed dad, and he wrote back this really nasty message. You threatened to kill me. You're a suppressive person. Why are you contacting us? Basically, fuck off. And I was like, wow, my dad's never actually said that I'm a suppressive person. I've never heard him so angry. I threatened to kill him when I was super angry around 2012. That's almost a decade ago. I don't feel that way at all. And so I wrote back to my dad. And this is the best resolve that could have happened because a few months after this, he passed. And I also didn't know he was suffering when he said this. So he probably didn't even really mean this because I never heard him act like that. And wow, it fucking hurt. Normally the old Doug the public member, non-Sea Org, but still sociopathic Doug would have said, fuck you, Dad, carry on the controversy. You never take responsibility for Scientology, on and on, right? But because they forced me to heal myself, because they ain't going to be around to help me out, it would have been a lot faster process. If they got out too, we could have done the healing together. It just took longer because I was going to lose my parents, so I had to kill them off in my mind. So I already did all the self-healing, man. So Scientology is not an issue anymore with my family or my mom or my dad, but I didn't realize that. So when he said all that shit, I said, Dad, I wrote him back. I said, sorry, I'll go through Mom now. That was years ago. I'm really sorry for threatening your and Mom's life. You're in no danger. Believe it or not, I have changed. And I don't care about Scientology anymore. I just love you. And disconnection, because he disconnected from me in the letter, even though we've technically been disconnected forever, but he said it for the first time. And I said, disconnection only means something in Scientology. So you're the only father I have. You'll always be my father. And I fucking love you. And when I got back from him, the best that I could get, and it was good, is I accept your apology or something. Again, it was, for him to take responsibility. He can't do it. So he said, I accept your apology. And he says, I always wished you well. Love, Dad. Something like that. It was good. It was the best I could hope for my dad. So because of that, when my dad passed, me and my mom have started actually talking on the phone and having real conversations, nothing to do about Scientology, just a little bit that she brought up, but I don't want to push it and I don't care. Just in the last few months. So she has gone through a little bit of a change. I call it a state of grace. She sounds different. She's hurting and she's thinking about things I think that you would only think about if you know your time might be coming up too. So long story short, because we've covered it previously, me and my mom's relationship is building better and better. She wants to go slowly. She asked me the other day, I have a little bit of fear and all this. Maybe I could come to your apartment briefly and say hi, and then we'll just go in baby steps. Maybe you can come back to the house and pick up some of Dad's clothes because she wants to give me some of his clothes and stuff. So she wants to take it slow, and she's still afraid of me a little bit and trepidatious, which I totally understand. So I just left her a message and she loved it. And I just said, Mom, I totally understand, on your own time. I just want to let you know I don't care about Scientology. We don't have to talk about it. I want to enjoy you for the however much time you're with me. You're here and I'm so fucking happy. And she said the same thing, that we're actually communicating. She loves it. I love it. We're both blown away and we're both taking baby steps. And I'm not forcing her in any way. And I'm sure that I will fucking, Jesus Christ, I just thought about this, man. I'm not even sure I could stand it, or how I'm going to handle it. But I haven't seen my mom in over a decade. So, except for one very brief time, that was for about 30 minutes, I haven't seen my mom for at least a decade. So if and when she does show up at the apartment, I'm going to cry like a fucking baby. So thank you for that, Janet. You have another one to pop off there, Cricket, by any chance?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not funny what he's saying. It's certain phrases. No, like,
Wow.
oh, he's not the sociopath I am anymore. No, just certain things like that. That's why I was laughing.
No, I was just bawling because when he was saying if she showed up at his apartment and he got choked up, that he would just cry his eyes out, and saying that, I know that he had talked about how she was a narcissist and was really, really hard to deal with. And then he said that she was kind of coming to terms with things and she had changed too. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because there's sort of like this, it's kind of like a conflated viewpoint that I've heard from some second gens. Some are like, and I can kind of understand because I sort of felt that way in the beginning when he passed away too, where, he didn't meet his mother yet, he was about to in like a week, that's what's so weird about the whole scenario. So a lot of second gens are like, good. Hopefully she feels like crap for letting her son go for 12 or 13 years, which I completely understand those things.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I totally get it. but I guess I just wish I understood a little bit better what he was dealing with, because I think it did cause a lot of undue stress on him. Obviously, a lot of people talk about his smoking, and I guess it never dawned on me before. I never thought about like how much he even smoked, but I'm used to my dad smoking two packs a day. Like I grew up with that,
Yeah.
so. But I think it caused I think it took an emotional toll on him. I think everything with like his show and especially his parents. And
Yeah.
I made a video about it before, when there were like people were trying to make conspiracy theories about why he
Yeah, I
passed
remember
away.
that. Yeah.
And I'm just like, you
No.
guys, he he's been open about it on his show about being homeless before. And I would say, if you've met a homeless person, 1 year of being homeless probably
Mm.
ages a person 5 to 7 years, if I had to guess. It's not an easy lifestyle. So I think that
Yeah.
his past,
And it was his
he
heart. He could have had a heart condition for a while, and didn't sound like I don't know if he had a primary care physician, if he had regular checkups, you know, it could be that. And then of course the smoking compounded it. And that's pretty much what it said on the death certificate. So yeah.
yeah, I think it's just probably stress and heart. I mean, yeah, stress and heart kind of go hand in hand. So it's really it's sad and it's unfortunate. Just the timing of the whole thing is
Yeah.
still kind of weirds me out
Yeah.
a little bit, because he was sort of like on the edge of breaking through with, you know, yeah, having a possible relationship with his mother, let's say towards the latter part of, you know, her life.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know, but it's kind of like what he said, and I know this with my parents, they're in their mid 70s, and it's just human nature. Once you hit that age, which I will probably in my 70s, you start to think about, I think they call it integrity versus despair in psychology.
Yep.
Um, so his mom's probably like, well, my son, and I don't know. It is when you start thinking about it, it can get really like depressing, and I wish things turned out happier and better. And if anything, this should serve as a lesson on, yeah, like you shouldn't shun your children. You shouldn't disconnect from your children
Exactly.
for a decade over
Yeah.
no matter what it is. You know, that's just strange as a mother
Yeah.
myself. I don't know.
And the love and hope in his eyes, and just the anticipation of seeing his mom, it just really, really touched my heart. And yeah, I mean, it is sad that it never happened, but at the same time, just the hope of it being there, and them being able to at least talk, you know, and plan. Oh, it was a
Yeah,
step.
it was a step, and life has a funny way of doing things, is all I can say. I mean, it's just the way that it happened was so weird. I only experienced disconnection once, and it was my half sister. And I wasn't really close to her, so I don't want to say I didn't care, but it wasn't like losing a parent.
Right.
Um, and yeah, my sister disconnected from my mother. But my mom took it really hard because she didn't talk to, that was like her own daughter, like silence for like, I think it lasted like 3 or 4 years, but
Mm.
13 years, what Doug went through, that's obviously a lot longer. And
Yeah.
I can't imagine. And I know you've talked about this before, you were in foster care before, right? And I don't know if I told you about my friend, a good friend of mine that ended up in foster care as a teenager because her dad killed the mom and then himself when I was in high school. So she
Oh,
ended up in foster care from 15 to 18, but she ended up owning the place. So it's one of those happy stories. She ended up kind of getting her stuff together and getting a degree, and she actually managed the foster system she was a part of. And I remember asking her, I'm like, what is the most difficult thing you've ever seen? Because, you hear of kids that, their parents are drug addicts, or this and that, or the kids get taken away at a young age. But she's like, honestly, when we get like 16-year-olds dropped off because their parents just don't want them anymore. And I was like, really? Like that actually happens? And she's like,
Yep.
oh yeah. She's like, if there's like a girlfriend and the boyfriend doesn't want like the daughter around, she's like, we'll get like 16-year-olds dropped off here because the mom's like, I don't want my teenage. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
kind of like a connection sort of, but pretty
Yeah.
cruel, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what happened with me, but it was more my adopted parents. They weren't really, especially my mother was not attached to me really. Like never really got that bond. So yeah, it was just like can't deal with her anymore. So that's pretty much what happened with me. And I was thinking about Doug, how he really brings people together. He really brought people together. And this comment I just caught my eye. I wanted to put up Quirkalopagus. I love that name. I look through this live chat and see such a huge cross section of the community. I love it. I love, and it is all because of Doug, and it's beautiful. And I think that's a really good point, is that he didn't care where you came from, who you were. He was just very inclusive, and he just was a straight shooter, and people were drawn to him because he was genuine. He
Yeah,
wasn't
and he had
clicky.
no, he definitely was. And but he was very kind of incognito and didn't really talk about himself towards what you guys saw, like when his show began. I honestly was surprised when he started his show. I was like, Doug, you're doing it, like, because he was the last person on earth that I would ever expect that would do something like that.
He was
Because
so
he
good
was
at
sort
it.
of, I don't want to say he was an introvert, but sort of like he didn't really talk about anything for the longest time. So I don't know. I just hope wherever he is, he's in a good
Yeah,
place. I miss him a lot, I really do. I wish he was here, but
I know.
I
I want to ask him
like,
so much.
yeah, no, it's true. It does. It kind of makes you think though, when something like that happens and then you're like, well, maybe I don't know. I guess just the way you like look at people and look at things and like fights. That's why, you know, 10 years ago, kind of like how he says, like, yeah, I used to get into arguments with people all the time in the anti-Scientology community. And, you kind of grow up a little bit. Of course, I still get into fights. I mean, almost daily, but I try not to. And um, it's, I don't know, kind of like how he was saying in his last clip that you showed where he's like, I really don't care one way or another. Like, people that are fighting, they need to just,
Right.
it would just be great if people could resolve issues
Exactly. Yeah.
better and maybe not televise it so often. I don't know.
Yeah. I definitely was I was feeling very weary, I guess is the way I would put it. And I realized yesterday morning I ended up doing a stream on being an empath. And because I was like thinking, like, so many people have said they just feel exhausted and just upset over this whole internet thing. And it's like, why are people so like actually losing sleep over it? And then I'm thinking, we might be empaths. And I actually listened to HD Tutor and Doug talk about that, and talk about like how narcissists will seek out empaths, and I was thinking, like, we've seen some predatory behavior in this space, and this space is filled with trauma survivors, empaths, and some narcissists, so it's like you got to look out for that. At least I feel
Oh,
like
it's
I
full
do.
of extortionists and criminals too.
Yeah.
Honestly, it always has been that way for like since I've been involved in this movement. And I think some of that we can see being played out right now. This has always been a gold mine. I mean, think about it. It's a money-based cult. It's a cult that you have to pay money to be a part of. And there are a lot of wealthy Scientologists. So for like a criminally minded individual, this is really like a gold mine to kind of participate in this and act chummy and do this and that. I see it happening. I mean, I grew up in Scientology, but I also grew up around a lot of prisoners and people that have done like hard time. Like I know someone that just got out of doing 22 years for lots of bank robberies. I went to grade school with this guy. And this would be like a perfect thing because yeah, there's money everywhere. And that's just the times we live in, unfortunately. Um I've made videos of how I got like literally framed to get arrested for like a documentary about Scientology because these people thought they were going to make a lot of money out of it. And yeah, you really have to watch yourself in this community because
Yeah.
it's very I don't want to say predatory, but sort of when it comes to money. It's like there's a lot of predators out there with they want money and we are a gold mine for that. So people should just really keep that in mind, honestly. That's
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there are so many generous people in this space, and I think it's wonderful that if they want to help, support people and the second gens and the causes and the charities and all that, but definitely be informed, and be careful as well. I agree with that. So, do you see who's here?
sort of. I can kind of see. Oh, it's so
Mango.
tiny.
Mango tea. I miss Doug. Hi, ladies. Mangotology in the house.
Oh, hi,
Stephen
Steve.
Mango. Hi. He
Yeah,
says,
it's a good friend. Doug
oh,
really liked Steve a lot
Mango
too.
said he was a great friend to all of us, so many in this community, and he woke up so many to the truth about Scientology with his content, which lives on. Thank you for that, Mango. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mango Mania. I have a different nickname for him, but I can't say it publicly.
I was like,
Um,
Mango's here.
it's good to see him. Yeah, Doug had a lot of friends. You know, he was honestly, I think if he kept going, he could have had a. I mean, it was. Sorry, I'm getting over. Like, I don't know what is wrong with me.
Yeah, you've
It's
been sick
summertime,
for a while.
118 degrees yesterday where I live. Can you
Oh
believe
my
that?
God.
And the worst thing is having like a cough or a cold in the summertime in Arizona. It's like the worst thing, but it happens to me a lot. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I think it would be a great world if we all could respect each other and get along and like each other. But I think it's like with any group, it's not just an anti-Scientology thing. So when people leave messages acting like this is so strange and bizarre about what we're doing, I'm like, you people not watch like politics or TV and
Right.
see what's going on in our world because it's like 10 times worse than anti-Scientology stuff. And it goes on everywhere in your workplace, if you're going to school, wherever, like wherever you're in a group environment, people are not going to get along and there's going to be quarrels and fights. And this is no different, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. When you get all these different personalities together, you're bound to have conflicts, you know. But I kind of like the idea too of us being like our own, we have our own channels, we're our own people. We tend to gravitate towards the people who we gravitate towards, and that's okay. We don't all have to be in lockstep because guess what? We're not in a cult anymore, you know. So
Exactly.
I, personally, after yesterday, I'm gonna distance myself from some of the, sensational Kardashian-ish crap of it all. Like I just can't. Today's about Doug, and I really don't. I don't care to do that because to me this isn't a show. It's not a spectacle. It's not like pop the popcorn kind of thing to me. This is been my life, the cult thing. So I want to heal and I want to talk to people and I want to be able to relate and bring down these fucking cults because I'm sick of them.
Yeah, well, you're doing a good job. I remember when you first started, I think you had like 100 subscribers or something. Like, you've really done very good. And I think you deserve it because I love your show. One of my favorite people to watch.
Thank you, honey. And same, right back at you. As soon as when your vids drop, I'm like, drop what I'm doing. I love it. I love it. Oh, Mango's birthday was yesterday? I didn't know that. Funny, his birthday was today. 4th of July. That's awesome. It was my doggy's birthday. Oh, yours is the 5th. Okay. My doggy Rocky's birthday was the 4th. I forgot to tell everybody that. Happy belly button day.
Dog of Cancer. What sign is your dog? No, I'm just kidding.
Must be a Cancer, right?
I think it is. Yeah.
He is a little crab. He's just a little crabby old man, even though he's only a year old. Happy birthday, Mango. It's awesome.
Happy late birthday.
Well, thank you so much. I can't believe you got up at the ass crack of dawn.
Oh, it's so okay now. It's almost 10 a.m. Yeah, we're supposed to be going up north to get out of this crazy heat for a few hours, but I want to thank you again for inviting me on. And
of course,
it was really nice to talk about him and share memories and everything else.
Of course. Well, thank you, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you later too. But
yep.
All right, I'm probably gonna play a few more clips. I want to find that one of HG Tutor, but you're welcome to hang around. I think what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna come off stage for a minute, play some music, and go pee because I'm middle-aged. I've been sitting there for almost 2 hours, and I need to pee.
I hear you, girl.
So it's up to you. If you want to hang out, you can, or I'll let you go.
No, I will. And if you see me leave, though, I will be watching because I did like that HG Tutor. Why did I say HT? HG. That was one of his Doug's better
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll put it on.
Fascinating.
Why don't I'll put it on, and then while it's playing, I'll run and go pee and I'll come back. How's that? All right. Let me switch over to it. Okay, I think they said it was 2 minutes something. Hopefully I got the right timestamp.
But people want to know, how does this impact upon me? I have little doubt that Doug would approve of me utilizing this as a teaching incident to enable you to understand more about the way that I would react, the way that I would respond. Indeed, he would probably find it rather entertaining that I would be talking about his demise and utilizing it for the further purposes of further explaining narcissism and psychopathy. When the emails were received by me stating that there was some concern about Doug, that naturally brings him upon my radar. And the issue is he under control? At first, I thought little of it. I thought he was probably busy about something else, or maybe he'd fallen unwell. It didn't linger in my mind for long. I embraced the thought, and then I jettisoned it. I didn't respond to the relevant emails as I determined there was no need to do so. I would wait to see if Doug had responded to my email, and if he didn't, then so be it. And if it meant that the Q&A could not take place on the scheduled date, then that was not a difficulty for me, because all I would do would be have 2 hours available to me that I thought that I wouldn't. Thus, I put it from my mind. Then came the confirmation that Doug had indeed died. What was my initial response? It was one of irritation. Not sadness, not upset. I don't do those things. Of course, I'm devoid of emotional empathy. It was irritation. It was irritation at the fact that we were going to have an excellent Q&A, and now we couldn't. And therefore, the opportunity to share more knowledge with more people and generate an excellent video that people would watch had been taken away. It was no more than irritation. It wasn't annoyance. It wasn't fury. It was simple irritation at his failure to be around. Did I experience a sense of loss? Yes, I've lost an asset. I don't feel sad for that, as I just explained. I don't do sadness. But Doug was an asset within the world of H.G. Tudor. We had spoken at least some 15 times in interview and discussion. Those were amongst some of my most popular interviews. You've all repeatedly said how much you enjoyed them, both in terms of the quality of the information that was provided to you, but also in terms of the interaction that you saw between an empathic individual who admired and respected me and me, the narcissistic psychopath. It was unusual bedfellows, as one person described it, but nevertheless compelling viewing all the same.
Yeah, he's something else, isn't he? I don't. Oh, did I leave her? Oh, what happened? She's gone. Marisa, you can come back if you want. I don't know what happened. I don't think I bumped you out. But anyways, that was amazing to have Marisa here. And I think I saw a comment from Mango. Do you ladies know about the Doug tribute page on TikTok? No, I haven't seen that. I think I have a TikTok, but I probably don't have it. Probably don't have the app on my computer. Yeah. I agree with this. I was going to say the same thing. At first, HD is trying to say he is a psychopath, but really cared a little bit about Doug. He respected Doug, and that's a win for empaths everywhere. Yes. I think that he really did care about Doug. I think he's like, oh, I wasn't sad because I don't do that. I'm like, I don't know if I believe that. Totally. I really don't. Yeah, I would totally be open to doing another one of these. It was kind of last minute. I didn't really get to prepare as much as I would have liked as far as having links. I don't know how to edit anything. I'm not Kelly Copter. I'm not even close. So I don't know how to put anything together, but I would be totally into doing another, like even a collab. If anybody wants to send me anything, we could do some more of this. So, hey, Lisa in Brooklyn, is that what it is? I thought Doug was so sincere. Yes. Yeah. Okay, I have a ton of things start. So, like I said, I'm not in a hurry today. I want to be here for all of you. I want to be here in memory and honor of Doug, and I'm gonna go through these. Mischief managed. Today was my mom's birthday too, so I won't be chatting much. But I'm so sorry, honey. I'm here and watching, so behave, please. Zero tolerating. No BS. Yes. That was way back when, but I'm gonna go through these anyways. Mena, thank you, Marilyn and Philosophy for this. Didn't realize I was going to be reduced to a blubbering mess again. I'm so sorry, Mena. And I just can't at the moment, but I'm so grateful you did this. Thank you. Thank you for that. Anna, to think of his mom, who was just about to reconnect with him after more than a decade, breaks my heart. He was such an incredible human being. Yes, he was. And like Marisa said, I mean, this is definitely a lesson to the parents of the second gens. Don't wait because you might not have time. And I just can't imagine what it would be like to have your own children to die. I don't think any parent can handle. I mean, I don't know. I can't even talk about. See, I'm like tongue tied because I don't think any parent should have to bury their child. I just can't imagine. I feel like my life would feel like my life was over if that ever happened. Seriously. Okay. Selfless Self. I'm just going through them. Oh, the videos. Yeah, he was awesome. He took no prisoners. So yeah. Great takes on all of this movement. Sharp, biting, critical, and funny. Yes, he was. Yeah. And I I think I try to take a page out of his book as far as like, okay, I might not always be right, but I'm always going to be honest, and for whatever it's worth, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just going to be myself, and he really inspired me to do that. He really did. Just so you know, hey there, Doug had fabulous intuition. He could speak with someone and determine if they were authentic. I'm glad you're doing this in his memory. Thank you. Yeah. And I felt really honored to be his friend and to get to know him as well as I did in the only about a year that I knew him. But he's a great, great guy. Power lies to paralyze. Doug's work stands alone because of the experience and insight he shared with us, like one friend looking out for another. I agree. Totally. All right. Go through some more. Oh, Bo Beats is here. Bo Beats, no sheep. Hopefully you're still here. That was like an hour ago. Doug spoke truth no matter the consequences. Yeah, absolutely. Indigo Twin, my word for Doug would be community. Yes, he did. He drew a lot of people in. Absolutely. Yeah. Indigo Twin again. I truly believe his light shines on all of you. Yeah. Susan P. Caring. Absolutely. Absolutely. Philosophy. Doug was so many things. I'd say he was a true artist. Yeah. Agree with that. And we got a new member. Oh, is it working? There we go. New member, Miss Sunrise Dawn. Thank you so much. I think you rejoined. Thank you, Miss Sunrise Dawn. I always do a little seal clap when I get a new member. I love that. Thank you very much. We got Scarlet Phalanges checking in. Hi, lovelies. Can't stay, but checking in to say I'll be listening and I love Doug. Happy birthday. R.I.P. Doug. Yes. Definitely. And Virginia Martinez, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Happy birthday, Doug. You are truly missed. Yes, he is. And we got Blakey Balake. Thank you so much for the super chat, Blake. After my grandfather had passed, we had all of her, grandmother, I'm sorry. I can't read. After my grandmother had passed, we had all of her phone information and whatnot transferred to my grandfather for safekeeping, but they didn't realize that every time he texted, her face would show up. So it's understandable. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. Well, I'm still an hour back. Farrell Cheryl saw herself in his chat. Yep. A cricket Maz. Today is the longest clip I've been able to watch of him. Yeah, I haven't been able to. Same here. I think last night was the first time that I actually watched anything of substance. I mean, I had for my 1 year, which was a couple weeks ago. It was on the 13th or 16th. I did watch a few clips I gave one to Kelly to put in a little montage there for my year anniversary. But other than that, I haven't been able to either. So I totally understand. Ann Casillas. Hey, Ann, if you're still here, can you email me your address? Because I still have to send you that the thing you won for the auction. And I scoured my emails and I can't find your email. So please, coffeegoalsandcrafts@gmail.com. Thank you, honey. Happy birthday, Doug, and to all his friends here. Even though I didn't know his channel, the episodes I've seen since have been so filled with so much love. Yeah, so filled with love to Doug and love to all of you, his friends. Thank you so much, Ann. You're always so supportive. I really, really appreciate you. We got another new member. Yay! Thank you so much. A ABCD. Is that it? ABCD. New member. Thank you so much, ABCD, for joining. Degraded daughter, E. Love you, E. You two are the best. M&M, there is. That's right. Marilyn and Marisa. Yeah. Yeah. And we had Rabbit in the chat. Philosophy says, I like how direct you are, Rabbit. Absolutely agree. Down the rabbit hole. Exactly, Marilyn. This is like a family. Siblings fight. Yep, absolutely. That's how I felt. Oh, I wish Marisa was still here to see Miriam. Hey, Miriam. Oh my God, it's got to be a bajillion o'clock there. Thank you so much for popping in. I'll make sure she sees this. Marisa, so good to see you. Glad to be here celebrating Doug with you both. He was definitely onto something. Yeah. Yeah. He could definitely say, I told you so. Definitely. Yeah. Barry Snyder. Hey there. I remember your name. I spent quite a few sleepless nights with Doug too. As a viewer, I hope both Doug's YouTube videos and the comments in his live chat remain available for replay. Thanks, Doug, Marilyn, and all. Yes. Thank you. Sleepless nights. I hear you. I hear you. Oh, Nancy Alley's back. Oh, it must be Natalie. I didn't. Usually on weekends, she goes later. I thought she was starting at noon her time. Oops. That's why I made it for 11, but that's all right. There's always the replay. Hey, sweetie. All right. Thanks, honey. Appreciate that. All right. Keela says, everyone is one breath away from being in the same position Doug had been in. I'm thankful for what I have every single day. Absolutely. And I'm thankful for you, Keela. And, oh, I'm getting emotional. Thank you for yesterday. Thank you for yesterday. That's all I have to say. Keela and Dr. Gretchen, they're doing, they started a channel called Mental Health Matters to Us. I think it's the number 2 us. And they had a Zoom meeting, private Zoom meeting for creators yesterday. And I think it was about 5 of us. And yeah, it was very helpful. And I love you, Keela. Thank you so much for sacrificing your time. And I know it was definitely a sacrifice, and I'm very proud of you. I love you. So anyways, we got Yadira. Hey, Yadira. Marilyn, thanks for adopting us as your family. Your mama bear love is so tangible. That's why Doug liked you and why we all love you. Burnt biscuits and all. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Thank you. Oh my God, Cinderella. I haven't smoked cigarettes since Christmas because of this. I was having a very bad breathing problems. I love him. I'm still not smoking cigs. So glad to hear that. It's possible. It is. And it is hard, but it is possible. Really. Oh, that really? And Nancy said that Natalie featured the tribute. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. I'm glad because I want as many people to know about Doug and to know about his channel, as possible, because he had so much good to say and so many things to offer. And I learned so much from him. Really, really did. I learned a lot about myself from listening to him, And I kept this starred. Mango, I will check that out on TikTok. I might have to do it on my phone. I will look that up. Okay. We got R. Ferguson. I remember you from his chat as well. Thank you for taking time to remember Mr. Doug today. You've made my day. I'm glad I'm not the only one who never knew him, but I'm deeply affected. I love that you two had such a cool friendship. Yeah, he is a good guy. I miss him. Miss him a lot. Quirkolopagus. I look through this live chat and see such a huge cross section of the community. I think I read this one, but I love it. I love it, and it is all because of Doug, and it is beautiful. Yes, cross section of community. He did bring people together. He really did, because he was honest and he was true. And it was very, very appealing. Really. Lumen says, "Oh my God, I had no idea Cha was Cricket until now. He was such a great mod for Doug and a great friend too." Yeah. Yeah. Cricket is Chow Yun Spot. Chow Yun Spot is Cricket. Yep. And I'm still way back, guys. I'm so sorry. Blake Reed, partake my friends. Yeah, we could do another Xenu Marlene. My tea's getting cold. Cheers. Cheers to Doug. And if you missed it, Chow Yun-smut, aka Cricket, came on and sang the Xena Marlene song that she made up to Ave Maria. She has a gorgeous voice. Very, very beautiful voice. Oh, yeah. I am so sorry about how behind I am. Larry B. Marisa is just phenomenal. I can't tell you how much I love her. I think it was maybe content and how she handles trolls and especially sticks up. Yeah, for Doug. She is a shining star in this movement. She certainly is. She certainly is. I love Marisa. Asen, no parent should bury their child. I imagine is like you're burying a piece of your heart. Oh, I can't imagine. Oh, just makes me choke up right now. Yeah. Oh, I just can't imagine. It's awful. Yeah. And I hope that I hope his mom's okay, and I hope that she realizes what an amazing person he was. I'm sure she does. I'm sure she is. Oh, Laura, hi, sweetheart. Love to Doug forever. Yes. I know you knew him, right? Yeah, Laura. If it's an open invitation for anyone who knew him. If you want to come on and say a few words, you're absolutely welcome. I'll send you a link. Let me know. Okay. That would be awesome if you wanted to. If you had time, I can send you one on Facebook or I can text it to you. Just let me know if you're interested. So, philosophy, Xenu for Doug. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, he was a surfer. That's what. Yeah, I put a beach scene in the background. Hoping Doug has caught the ultimate wave and grinning ear to ear. Absolutely. Yeah. Corn Freak, Ace and I lost my son's best friend at 20, who was like a son. That's more than I ever hope. I know. Yeah. I hope so too. That's just so sad. It really is. I'm going into the live chat. Yeah. Cricket says, Doug is and was a beautiful human, ball of curious energy. I miss him and love him. Yeah. Yeah. So glad we got Laura in here. Did I see Liz Gail? Yeah. Happy birthday, Doug. Yeah. I'll hang out for a little while longer if any of you second gens want to pop in. I think I sent Dylan and Liz a link just in case if you want to. Oh, it kicked you out. Yeah, Marisa, you can always pop back in if you want. I'll go a little bit longer. All right, just be patient and try to pick up the link. Okay, that's okay, honey. No problem. All right, I'm just trying to get this copied. Sorry, housekeeping. Oop. I don't want to airdrop. There's nobody here to airdrop to. Okay, here we go. Just in case. So I got some more started here. Philosophy. I can only listen to HG Tutor when Doug's interviewing him. Something about Doug's empathy balances it out. And my dad's a narcissist, so I can usually listen to it. Yeah, I totally understand that. He is hard to listen to sometimes. Definitely. Pause for Andrea. I cried real tears when Doug passed on to whatever is next. It surprised me because of the degree to which I've had to stifle and compartmentalize my emotions due to my own family trauma. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of trauma survivors, a lot of empaths in this community. Absolutely. Antics of a Mama Squirrel. Tears were had. Thank you for honoring him. It's my pleasure. It really is. I wish I could do him more justice, but thank you. Thanks to all of you. I think that he'd be happy that we remember him and that you know, we're not forgetting the impact he had on this movement, on our lives, and keep watching his videos because there's so many nuggets of wisdom, so much to learn still. Irrelevant Panda, good to see you. Jumped in late and trying to catch up, but I wanted to comment before the stream ends. Rest easy, Doug. You're incredibly missed. Yes, he is. He really is. Janet from another planet. Hi there. I'm so late for this, but I want to send my sincere thoughts for Doug. I really do miss him and his perspective. Marilyn, how gentle he was with you when you told your story speaks volumes. He really was. He was definitely the right person to tell my story to. It was just, yeah, it was hard, but he made it so much easier. He really did. Becky USA. Hey, good morning. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Philosophy, Doug's Raised in a Secret Society series was the best. Yeah. And Philosophy, if you just send me a clip, I can try to pull that up in just a minute. Thank you, Cinderella. Marzi, hey there. It was so cute and sweet the way he came up with the Xena Marlene toast. Yeah. It was very, very sweet of him. All right, just going through here. Let me see if I can pull up that clip. I got to get my act together. Okay, clip of Doug. Okay, one second. I will get it. I'll get it there. Sorry, it feels like my thing is frozen here. I don't know what's happening. Sorry. All right. Hang in there. I'll get it. I gotta make this. All right. Sorry, guys. Maybe I should put music on so there's not so much dead air. Looks like you're all chatting amongst yourselves. Okay. Okay. I think I got it. Now I can share it. So sorry, everybody. Okay, finally. You guys see it? Okay. Here we are.
An apartment complex, man. I don't want to choke them out with the smoke and shit. And there's other reasons, but guys, we'll be back soon. Not only to talk with Marilyn, but we'll see you tomorrow. We're gonna leave you with this outro that sort of summarizes. You too could be in a cult, and we all maybe have our little boxes to try to shatter.
Across the chasm. Now, that is an old mystic idea that there was a chasm. There was a chasm between this existence, where we are now, and a higher plateau of existence. And that many people trying to make it fell into the abyss.
Little boxes on the hills.
Okay, I'll keep playing this, but I'm just gonna mute it because of copyright. There's good old Elron. I had never seen some of these clips until Doug put it together. Okay. Philosophy. I love how he said about shattering the boxes. Yeah. There's no dead air. It's a conversation about Doug. Yeah, you're all chatting and talking. Thank you. Thanks for being patient with me. I really wish I was an editor and I could have put it all together in a whole presentation. The Little Houses intro. Yeah. Jennifer, Another Planet. I miss his impish grin. Yes. Definitely. Sings along, even though it's muted. I bet you do. You have a beautiful voice. Yep. Thank you, Ethan. Totally think you do him justice. Thank you so much. We all are just here being ourselves. That's what he would want, right? Yeah. Okay, so I was thinking maybe we could go out with playing that The Holiday Road again of Austin singing that. And yeah, if there's any other things that you all want me to play, I can be on again maybe either late tonight or tomorrow morning. And yeah, we can do a few more things. So hey, Kate DeLay, sorry, you're gonna late watch the replay. Yes, that would be awesome. And let me see if I can set this up. Okay, be patient with me, guys. Try it again. Resent. Okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit. There we go.
What's the first line again?
I found out long ago.
I found out long ago.
Whoa.
One way down Hardy Road.
Whoa.
Hardy Road. Hardy Road. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick.
Whoa.
We'll take a ride down East Coast Street.
Whoa.
Hardy Road. Hardy Road. Hardy
Yay, Holiday Road.